A game that has been getting a lot of hate recently is New Super Mario Bros. U. It gets hate for being so similar to the other three New Super Mario Bros. Games. I think it gets way too much hate, for 6 reasons. My first reason is, why is a game being similar to another really good game a problem? Seriously, why? In fact, the game is similar to another really good Mario game, Super Mario World. U is like a combination between it and New Super Mario Bros. U. Or Wii. Two of the best platformers by Nintendo, by the way, which makes it somehow bad. How? This is a stupid reason for people to hate games. To be fair, they aren't even that similar. They have different levels, bosses, music, and have different stories. Sorta. Really, all Mario games have the same basic story. They aren't even that similar. The levels don't even look the same. For sequels, this is a good thing, not a bad thing. Here's what U has in common with Wii. Gameplay style. Characters. Nothing else. In a sequel, those are things that should be there. You know what? People who hate this game are right. They should have made an FPS starring Kirby and called it New Super Mario Bros. U. If you can't tell, I'm being sarcastic. But to be fair, Nintendo has an excuse. Nintendo has more or less invented the genre U's in. I'm gonna name some other Nintendo games. Metroid, The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, Star Fox, Super Mario 64, Wii Sports, Mario Party. These are games and genres that Nintendo either invented or revolutionized. Nintendo gets a free pass to make 4 similar games. What were people thinking anyway? This is Nintendo we're talking about. The makers of Pokemon. And the people who released Ocarina of Time 4 times. You isn't even the worst offender. Nintendo made Lost Levels. If you don't know, that is the Japanese version of Super Mario Bros. 2, which is the same game as the original Super Mario Bros., except for it has different levels and slightly edited things, but otherwise exactly identical. So yeah, they made Lost Levels, and that's okay. They get a free pass. My logic has always been that Nintendo can be as big of a cheapskate if they want, as long as they make good games. Nintendo isn't even the biggest offender. That would be Capcom, makers of Mega Man. How many times has Capcom made the same thing as Nintendo? Or released the same thing again and again? Really? How many times? Okay, I looked it up and the count is currently at 17. 17 Mega Man games just as similar as New Super Mario Bros. U. Wow. At least people complain about it. Really? Never? People actually praise Mega Man about it. What's the difference again? Seriously, what's the difference? I'm going to tell you the story of one of the best video games Nintendo ever released. Before this game was released, another game in the series was made. It sold amazingly, and it's easy to see why. It's one of the best games Nintendo ever made. In fact, one of the best games in general. They made a similar sequel. Then, when Nintendo was gonna make a new console, they showed a tech demo of a game similar to the game they released before. Then Nintendo made the game I'm talking about. This game had a similar gameplay style, but had a widely different art style. It also had an odd part of its gameplay. Fans hated this new game. Some even declared it wasn't a game in the series. I am talking about The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. This is what happens when Nintendo makes black sheep games. Even though it was an amazing game, it was hated and sold poorly because Nintendo tried something new. Tell me why Nintendo, the most innovative company of all time, should make a slightly similar game when other companies do more and are praised for it, and when they try something new are hated for it. This isn't even about you anymore. This is about people who hate Wind Waker. Ignore this about Mega Man, and ignore what Nintendo innovates. A game should be judged by itself and itself alone. That is all. Goodbye. Oh, until next time, be ultimate.